Warning, this video contains my opinion. Today I'm going to be doing a review for Naruto and Naruto Shippuden and whether you should watch either one of them. Naruto was created by Masashi Kishimoto and it is 720 episodes and 700 chapters long, so it's quite long, which is something you should probably keep in mind before reading or watching it. Naruto follows an outcast young ninja named Naruto who's trying to win the support of his village and become the village's leader, featuring the token emo rival and the token female who likes the main rival, and that's pretty much her defining character trait for at least the first couple of episodes. The original Naruto, which takes place when Naruto is a kid, features him and his friends growing in experience and growing up and taking on missions that are probably way above the level that they should probably be on in classic shonen fashion. And in the original Naruto, which I watched as a kid, I remember the main characters always getting a decent amount of screen time, at least compared to later on. The characters seemed to always have their moments to shine, even if it was only like one or two fights. Characters always felt like they got something to do and they weren't completely left behind. At least not in a power sense. They always felt like they could do something. I think the original Naruto is solid. It does a pretty good job of showing off the world, in its first few episodes, and showing what the world of the shinobi and ninjas is like. Naruto also throughout features the same goal of Naruto becoming the Hokage, which is sort of a staple of shonen, of main characters, their goal being to become the greatest in their class, which is just, it's sort of a trope now. It wasn't as much of a trope when Naruto was first coming out, like Naruto wants to become the Hokage, Luffy wants to become the king of the pirates, Asta wants to become the wizard king. It's sort of become a little bit of a trope, but it's a classic, and Naruto isn't as guilty of it because Naruto sort of started the whole trope of things like the Hokage, that being the main character's goal. Skipping the fillers, I would say that the original Naruto is good. I think anyone would enjoy watching the original Naruto. I definitely recommend it. I thought it was pretty good, but it does have quite a few fillers, and I watched all the fillers because when I was a kid and watched Naruto, I didn't even understand that fillers were a thing. I'd probably give the original Naruto like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I never remember really anything I disliked. Maybe that's looking at it through a nostalgia lens, but there was a lot of things about it that I liked, and there wasn't that many disappointments in the original Naruto, unlike later on. Naruto Shippuden, on the other hand, I still liked, but it was a lot more interesting. During Naruto Shippuden, one of its main problems is it stopped utilizing a lot of the main cast, like the Konoha 11, and everyone besides Naruto and Sasuke basically are completely useless during the war. Like, they don't do anything at all, basically. I mean, characters like Rock Lee, who had one of the best fights and most iconic fights, and a lot of people would consider in, like, original shonen, with Rock Lee versus Gaara, is completely sidelined in Shippuden. I mean, I think Guy gets more moments than Lee does in Shippuden, which is really sad. I mean, any of the characters whose motif isn't being smart, like Shikamaru, or has some sort of, like, use in the war, like Ino, basically is just useless fodder. And even there, like, what makes them useful isn't in fighting, because the two strong people are Naruto and Sasuke, and no one else can really do anything aside from them, which I suppose is to be expected in shonen, that the main character and the main character's rival become stronger than everyone else. But the power creep in Shippuden is pretty obvious, how they just left everyone else behind and everyone else would just became fodder. I think that's pretty evident considering what happened to a certain character being shish kebabbed during the war, just randomly, like a random background ninja. I think it's pretty evident that the Konoha 11 were pretty much sidelined during the war. And even if some of the characters in the Konoha 11 were somewhat useful, they never got enough screen time to show it. I mean, 1010 got less screen time than a swing. So the Konoha 11 not only got nerfed in power, but got nerfed in screen time too. They became complete background characters. Also, on a side note, one thing that really bothered me during Shippuden is Sakura saying that she caught up to Naruto and Sasuke when she obviously never caught up to them. Like, Sakura's strong at all, and people say that Sakura is useless, which she kind of is, but she's strong in the sense of a normal shinobi, but in comparison to Naruto and Sasuke, she's very, very weak. She really can't do anything. She's just there to sort of heal herself and not die, I guess. She doesn't really do a whole lot. And I've said it before that Sakura's whole issue is that she has to be compared to Naruto and Sasuke because they're supposed to be a trio, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. But she's so much weaker than Naruto and Sasuke, that's what makes her seem useless. And also, a lot of her powers are like her healing herself, which Naruto can also do during the latter half of the Shinobi War, so why she's even there to begin with when all she can really do is punch things, I have no idea. But I'm not trying to roast Sakura, but it's really, really sad how she keeps saying that she's caught up when she clearly hasn't. And it's just like the authors are calling attention to just how weak she is and how delusional she is, that it's just kind of sad, and it exacerbates the issue, which is already bad enough, without drawing attention to it. But I guess that's what you just get with classic shonen female syndrome. I've also seen and heard in Shippuden the filler and extra content and fluff added into episodes that only have a little bit of canon content, and then everything else is just fluff and filler to pad out the episode. So it's really hard to drudge through some parts of the war because they just can't seem to move forward, like they're stuck. And I read the manga of Shippuden, so it wasn't quite as bad, but there was definitely some places where even the manga had hiccups and felt like it lingered on places for too long. Like, it wasn't bad, but if I could see it in the manga, then I really, really can't imagine how much worse it would be in the anime, which tends to drudge on longer than the manga. Now, I wouldn't say it was like catastrophic or anything, but it definitely has a noticeable drag. Also, some plot points towards the end of Naruto Shippuden, it really becomes all sorts of muddy. I mean, I think it's sort of also a power creep issue. They just have to keep tacking stuff on, it feels like. Like the whole reincarnation stuff and Kaguya's entire existence is just incredibly tacked on. And all of like the weird power-ups that Naruto and Sasuke get at the end. I mean, clearly that they didn't plan for all of that to be thrown in. They just had to do it out of necessity because of power creep, I suppose, and also because they wanted Kaguya to exist, to be a sort of tie-in to Boruto because of the whole Kaguya clan being the main villains in Boruto, so they didn't just want to shoehorn in an entirely new clan of villains for Boruto, which is why they just sort of stuck Kaguya in, which screwed up the entire end to Naruto Shippuden. I don't know. I don't even have to say that. Everyone knows how bad the Kaguya situation was. I mean, I don't even think I have to say. It really just feels like that was forced, but whatever. And of course, Naruto Shippuden has the classic friendship talk no jutsu, which is classic in shonen. I mean, Talk no Jutsu was even, coined off of Naruto. I don't think it's as bad as some people say. Like, people say that Fairy Tail's whole thing is the power of friendship, but I don't think that Naruto is that bad with it, but I can definitely see it. It's just sort of like, talking doesn't solve all of your problems. It seems a bit cliche and cheesy and unrealistic. I don't mind characters sort of being redeemed, but it did feel a little bit cheesy. And I did want to say, I've said a lot of, sort of bad things about Naruto Shippuden. They're just criticisms. I loved reading Naruto Shippuden, but it of course had a lot of issues as well, and I tend to speak more about the bad things than the good things. There's a lot of things that I liked about Naruto Shippuden. I loved all of the characters. I loved a lot of the character arcs. I love Gaara's character. I love the relationship between Naruto and Kurama, which is a big trope in shonen nowadays. The demon within trope is very, overdone, but I'm totally a sucker for it. I really do just love the trope. Also, I did want to talk about how questionable some of the romance choices were during Naruto Shippuden and Naruto, but obviously it came to fruition more in Naruto Shippuden because they were kids in the original Naruto. And a lot of shonens, they don't do romance very well because that's just sort of a thing in shonen. They just cannot do romance to save their lives 90% of the time. But in Naruto, I always found it kind of funny. Obviously, you don't watch Naruto for the romance, or most people don't. I just always found it kind of funny. And Sasuke and Sakura's relationship, she went back to him after everything. I mean, no spoilers, but it is really kind of ridiculous and shows just how freakish Sakura is for Sasuke. Also, the main character and his love interest that he ends up with in the end of the series, Hinata, Naruto and Hinata never have, anything going on, and then they just get married in the end. Which, there is no romance, so I feel like there's nothing really to spoil there because there is no romance. It's just, she has a crush on him, and then they get married, and that's literally what the romance is. Now, I don't like romance. I'm not a romance connoisseur, but I don't think that's the way that that's supposed to be done. Because if you only saw the anime or the manga, their romance is basically completely unexplained. How they got together, who knows? It's explained in a movie, which I don't even know what the movie is called, and I never watched it, but it's explained their romance in a movie. They couldn't have done that in the actual series. I get that. I'm pretty sure the creator of Naruto said that he wasn't the best at relationships, but having the entirety of the main character's relationship being in a movie. Also, I thought that Sasuke's character motivation stopped making sense halfway through Shippuden. His entire motivation just goes away, and he's just I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. I just have to keep trucking on, which never made sense to me. I reread that scene multiple times when reading through Shippuden for the first time, because I never understood his character motivation, and I get it, but it just is so stupid and childish that he kept on, even though he had no reason to continue, just to be a jerk. But, okay. Also, people like to talk about the trio between Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, but Sai spent more time in Team 7 than Sasuke did. And of course, despite all that, I did enjoy Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Of course, the romance doesn't really matter because that's not what anyone's watching Naruto for to begin with. They're watching it for the story, or the characters, or just the animation and fighting, whatever. They're not watching it for the romance. Overall, I'll probably give the series an 8.5 out of 10 because I genuinely really liked it. It does have a lot of issues. I still think it's a great show. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I didn't read Naruto Shippuden all that long ago. And of course, the filler is a little bit of something to look out for, but I read the manga, so it wasn't a problem for me. But just remember, the filler might be an issue when watching the anime. And of course, when watching Naruto, you have to expect the classic shonen tropes and stuff, because Naruto is one of, like, the originals. It's part of the big three. So you always have to expect the classic shonen nonsense that comes along with old, long shonen series. And for Boruto, I'm not going to say anything about Boruto because it is a separate series. It doesn't have anything to do with Naruto. It's the next generations, and I never really saw Boruto. I saw like the first quite a few, like 50 episodes, which was like 90% filler. Like, the filler content on Boruto is insane, which is why the manga, which I've never read, and the anime, which I saw a little bit of, are nothing like each other, because the Boruto anime is so filler heavy that nothing in the story has even happened yet in the anime, from what I've heard. Like that video where someone is like scrolling through the filler list of Boruto, and it's like literally over 90% filler. Like, it's ridiculous. So I have never read the manga. I don't know how good or bad it is. People say that the manga is actually pretty good, but I don't know. Just know that the anime and manga are not synonymous, and I do not know how good Boruto is. But anyway, that's all I have to say about my sort of review for Naruto. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.